beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, I want to share how you know that you are switching from the third density vibration to the fifth density. And when our frequency is rising, certain things will start to happen to us. And the world is shifting. You know, a lot of us are already living in that 4D, 5D energy. We're manifesting instantly. We're feeling good. We're taking care of our bodies. But there are a lot of people who are now coming online and they're feeling these desires to do certain things. And this is how you know you're shifting. And when you shift to the fifth dimension, you are in a higher vibration. You are meeting the universe on the dance floor, and your manifesting skills become more enhanced. You're learning that you can ask for things on a Tuesday and receive it on a Thursday or a Friday. And eventually the whole world will be living this way. And we have to guide others to let them know that what they're experiencing in their body is okay and that they're safe. And this is part of our evolution. We are spiritual beings in these bodies, and we are so online to that now. And more than ever, the energy is so high on our planet. And I know I say that all the time, but it is real. Our planet is different. It is not the same as when we were kids. I'm 40 years old. However old you are, it is just not the same. And the kids that are being born right now, anywhere from 0 to 15 years old, those kids are wiser than us. Their bodies, their souls are prepared for this energy, this 5D energy. So they are teaching their parents how to do it. And they're going to be very resistant. They're going to be stubborn. If they don't want to be somewhere because their energy field doesn't feel good there, they're going to throw a tantrum and they're going to tell their parents, I can't be here, which is then teaching that parent what that child needs. Hopefully the parents are honoring this. But these kids these days are teaching us about this 5D energy, this higher frequency that we're living in. And I love coaching parents because I used to be a teacher, so I understand this about the kids. I understand that they can't even understand what's happening to them. They are so woke that they don't know any different. They're like, wait, why are you doing this? And why are we not outside all day long? They don't understand why we live the way we live because they came in with this energy that needs to be outdoors. It needs sunshine. They need to not wear shoes. They want to be connected to Mother Earth. So anyway, long tangent, sorry. But it is so important for our children these days because they are suffering because their parents don't know how to hold a container for them to grow in and to thrive in. So if you need help, if you're a parent or if you have a friend who is a parent and has a very stubborn child who's very sensitive and filled with anxiety, please message me. I would love to work with that parent to help them understand their child's needs. So moving from 3D to 5D, this is how you know your soul is back in your body and it is online. So have you ever noticed people's eyes looked very glazed over? They don't make good eye contact, or maybe they're talking to you and you feel like they're elsewhere. That is because their soul has left their body. They are numb, they are not present. And a lot of times, spiritual teachers talk about your soul leaving your body through your solar plexus, your upper belly area. And they're just very detached. It's because the soul has left because the vessel is numb. It's numbed with alcohol, with food, with addictions, with chaos, with stress, worry, fear. And when there's so much fear in this vessel, the soul's like, I can't be seen. I can't thrive in this vessel. So it leaves. And everyone's probably like, wait, your soul leaves your body, but it temporarily, separates itself. And you can tell this because somebody has a very glazed over look. And a lot of children, unfortunately, and I see this in a lot of kids, and looking back at photos of myself, I can see it in myself. When we are sexually abused, when we're physically abused, when we deal with trauma, it's almost like we're calloused over. We're absent and we have this glazed over look. So if you see this in children, most likely it's because they've dealt with trauma and their soul has kind of exited for a little bit and it's going to come back on. But this is what happens. So how do you know when you're moving from the 3D to the 5D is when all of a sudden that glazed over look goes away. So think about somebody in your life who you know is going through an awakening, or maybe yourself. I know I have a friend who is near me all the time, and I've seen his eyes completely shift. I've seen his patterns shift. I've seen how he feeds himself, how he takes care of his body. So these are all signs that somebody is coming online. All of a sudden, they're present. They're looking at you in the eye and they're there. You really feel like they're back. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're here. And some individual signs are you start drinking water. You're not grabbing that energy drink, you're not grabbing that extra coffee. You actually crave water because your soul is back in your body now. It is telling you what this vessel needs to thrive. So if out of nowhere you have this huge desire to drink healthier water, to just drink more water, maybe you haven't. It's a really simple thing, but a lot of people do not drink water. And this is how you know your soul is in your body, because you're starting to crave more water. Another sign you are moving into the 5D energy, the higher frequency, is you feel an urge to move more. You're sitting on your couch like you always do, and all of a sudden you're like, I want to be stronger. I want to move. I want to go for that walk. Your soul is picking you up and taking you somewhere so that you can move all of the trauma that has been lying dormant in your energy field, in your chakra system, in your body for years. And when you move, all of a sudden, all that stuff starts to shake up and it starts to disperse out your cells. And a lot of times, this is another reason how you know your frequency is rising, is you get sick. You start to get sick so frequently. You have infections, you have colds. It's because all of those traumas and toxins that have been stuck in your cells is finally being shaken up and it's moving out of your system. So don't panic if you're starting to want to drink more water, you're wanting to exercise more, but then you get sick and you're like, wait, I thought I was being healthy. Why am I sick now? And you must keep going. Don't stop moving and don't stop doing those healthy habits just because you got sick right after you started doing them. It's just a sign that your body has not moved in a while and it shook up all that old trauma, all that old energy stuck in all these weird spots in your elbows and your knees and your ankles, and it's moving out. Another sign that your soul is back in your body and online is that you're setting boundaries. You are no longer putting up with BS. If people are talking to you poorly, you're spending less time with them, or you're speaking your truth. Or if you've always had men or women jumping in your phone, doing booty calls, or, just complimenting you in a certain way that might be inappropriate, or people sending like gross memes, or I don't know, if there's like porn involved with friends, all of a sudden you're like, ew, I don't want to look at this anymore. I don't want to be involved with this. You just have these clear, clean, pure boundaries. You don't want to be watching certain things. You don't want to be around certain people that don't feel good for you. Okay. And speaking of that, the next sign is you are very limited about who you spend your time with. You're only wanting soul tribe. Somebody just commented on another video of mine and they were like, hey, Michelle, do you know how to attract soul tribe? And I was like, absolutely. I will make a video for you. And that's what this is. All of a sudden, you're in your body, you're wanting to do all these healthy habits, you're setting boundaries, you're realizing that the things that you were involved with were not healthy. But that's because you kind of were offline and it wasn't your fault. You've been through tough things that have calloused you over, and now you're opening up to the fact that you are a spiritual being. And spiritual beings do not participate in toxicity. They don't participate in porn. They don't participate in unhealthy eating and drugs and alcohol. Spirits want to be here to love, to experience joy, peace, fulfillment, the pureness of helping a child grow and evolve and being that safe container for them to grow in. That is what your being came here to do. And when you're online and you're moving into this 5D energy, you're seeing all the darkness that you had been living in, and people represent that. The sign with you limiting who you spend your time with, you're seeing that, oh my gosh, that's almost like the old energy I used to live in. I don't want to call it darkness because I don't like to call anybody dark, but it's just a different vibration. It's a lower frequency. Those people are judging people all the time. I was by the pool the other day and I shared it in a reading a while back, a couple of weeks ago, but I was surrounded by two women who I don't ever normally spend time with. And I was introducing myself to get to know them, and they were bashing people at the pool. They literally were calling people names. And I was standing up for these people because I'm friendly with everybody where I live. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, no, no, no. I'm like, he's very shy because they're like, oh, he doesn't say hi to me. And they're just so entitled. Like they just sat back with their sunglasses on and, like I just was like, oh my gosh, like these poor people are not online and they're just throwing shade at everybody, judging people. And I was sitting there thinking my words were going to help, and they probably weren't. But I literally left feeling like I was psychically attacked. I had spent all night trying to cleanse myself of that energy because this is what happens when you're in a 5D energy. You cannot spend time with people who are in a low frequency, hating on other people. You can be there to be the light. Like I was trying to let them know, like, hey, no, he's a really nice guy. He just has a little bit of a social anxiety. You just have to start small conversation with him. Like I was trying to open them up to the idea that because somebody doesn't say hi to you doesn't mean that they're, a certain, you call them a certain name. And how immature. And this woman was like 46 years old, has 3 sons, and like you think she would be aware of kindness and compassion being a mom. But that's where we are in this world. People are still asleep. They're still not, I feel bad for her. She's probably been through so much trauma in her own life that she is calloused over and she's not online. So we cannot spend time with these people. And I hope that example helped you out because, people can seem like really nice people and they are, and it's not their fault. They just can't help it. But when we're in this new energy, we can't spend too much time with them because our body will literally suffer. Like my body felt physical pain after spending time with her. And I now know that energy. So now I know, oh man, like I can't be around the hatred and the judgment, and you can't either. So are you starting to realize that? Are you starting to realize your own family members maybe are not good for you and you're kind of sad and you're like, oh no, what do I do now because they're my family? And unfortunately, we have to set boundaries. We have to say no and limit our time with them. The next sign is anxiety. So when your soul is back in your body, you're going to start to feel more. You're having anxiety because now you're open and you're feeling things. You're going into stores and you're feeling the vibration of the store. You're with family members and you're feeling that hatred and that anger. You can kind of feel that before you even approach it. Start to pay attention to that. But your anxiety is there to tell you something. So now that you're feeling things, you're no longer numbing, you're eating healthier, your vessel is open, you're going to start to feel anxiety. You're going to feel your heart race. You're going to feel your belly getting butterflies around certain people or environments. It's because this is your communication system. Your body is now communicating, saying yes and no. Yes for this. Nope, we're not doing that. I was literally about to make an Instagram post or no, it was a community post on my YouTube, and I started to type up, and it was a little bit of a negative post, like me shining a light on something negative, and I typed up like a whole paragraph to kind of help people become aware of people like I was just talking about at the pool, and my whole body just had like an icky feeling, and I was like, okay, Michelle, you're not supposed to post this. You put out positive messages, like even in this video, I don't even like talking about that situation at the pool, but it's reality. People are like this. And I want to help you who are moving into the 5D to know that it's okay to not want to spend time with people like that. We can love them and we can see that they're in their own pain and they will grow eventually. But I was writing this post and I felt icky. And that was my body saying, there's a little bit of anxiety saying, Michelle, don't post this. This is not the message we want you to post. So as you feel this anxiousness in your body, you ask yourself, why is this here? And you can ask yourself, if you're not sure, universe, why are you showing me anxiety right now? Body, why do you feel this way? And the first thought that comes to you will be your answer. My first thought was, don't post this, or I shouldn't be doing this. That's usually the first thought with anxiety is, I shouldn't be drinking that second cup of coffee. I shouldn't be eating this food. And that's another thing. When you start to open up your vessel, you might start to have food intolerances. You might be eating chicken and not feeling good. That's your body saying no more chicken for a while. You can go back to it in a couple of weeks, but for right now, maybe not eat animal products. You have to listen to what your body is saying. Another sign is you're waking up between 2 and 5 a.m. And a lot of times this is when the anxiousness starts to purge out of your body because you're finally still And your guides and angels, as I like to say it, they're doing work on you. So when you're waking up between 2 and 5, you want to sit up, have some water next to your bed. You're going to drink the water and you're going to imagine that water flushing out any kind of old energy that's coming up with this anxiety. And a lot of times we feel the frequency of fear if we're sleeping near somebody who's very fearful. Maybe you have neighbors above, below you, next to you, and they live in fear all day long. And now you're in this 5D energy. You're going to feel their fear when they're sleeping. You're going to feel the collective energy of the city that you live in when you're sleeping, because everything is still and you're not so busy moving around. You're actually there to feel. So a lot of times us spiritual beings in these bodies, as we start to open up, we feel more in the middle of the night. Another thing that might happen is when you wake up in the middle of the night with these profound dreams, they are messages. If it is a really, really scary dream and a gory dream, that is your ego messing with you, because you are so spiritually awakened now that your ego is not bothering you throughout the day. So it tries to kind of attack you at night. It's like, ooh, they've been shushing us all day. We're going to attack them at night. So do not play into the scary, gory dreams. That is all ego. Do not think that that's going to happen in your reality. That is not your subconscious telling you that that's what's coming. But these other dreams are going to be like these little snapshots of something that feels really vivid and real. And somebody's telling you something, or you come across a kid playing in the sand, and then you find out a week later you get an offer to go to the beach. So you're going to see these little downloads that come in between 2 and 5 a.m. because that's when you're still enough for your guides and angels to talk to you. And if you're up with just a lot of energy, it could be a bunch of different things. It could be the planets. It could be the energy of somebody around you. It could be the fact that you didn't move your body the 24 hours before you laid down to go to bed. If you don't exert the extra energy that you need to move with, that will then surface in the middle of the night. So always, before you go to bed, do some push-ups, do some squats. If you did not get your exercise in that day, you have to do something before you sleep to kind of move all of that energy, because it's wanting to get out of your body. Another sign is your sovereignty. And this kind of goes along with the boundaries, but you are realizing that you are just this beautiful vessel, right? You're this beautiful soul in that body, and you don't want anyone touching it that does not value you, that does not listen to you, that does not celebrate you. You are just, sovereignty is just like knowing that you are this whole being and you value every ounce of this being. You're not putting bad food in it, you're drinking good water, you're moving it, you're setting boundaries about who gets to be around you. But it's a real strong connection with you. And if you're at a job you don't like, if you're in a situation you don't like, you are no longer settling. You are saying, I am this soul in this body and I get to choose. I get to pick my thoughts. I am the sovereign being, and you're not going to tell me what to do. So if you are sensing that you want more freedom and you're working for a boss and you're just like, I am so sick of being told what to do, you are in your sovereignty. You are wanting that freedom. That's how I was my last 2 years teaching. I was a teacher for 17 years. The last 2 years, oh, it was like knives all over my body when I had to get observed as a teacher, when I got emails from any supervisor or principal. It was like all of these authority figures, they were messaging me or talking to me, and I just felt like it was wrong, because our souls are not meant to be governed. We are free. We are sovereign. We are not meant to be controlled and manipulated and being told what to do and when to do it. You are looking for your freedom when you're coming into this 5D energy. And you might be called to quit your job to create your own work, which is what I've done and I've helped many clients do. So if that is you, message me. Everything's below in the description box, because you're feeling like you want that freedom. And as I said, that the sun is coming out. It was a little rainy this morning and it is so beautiful out. So that is God saying, yes, God is our boss. He is our CEO. He is going to be the one that pays us. We don't have to worry about where the money's going to come from. And that's another sign that you're moving in that 5D energy, is you realize that your thoughts and you resting and doing less actually creates more abundance in your life. It creates more creativity. You start to see that everything you're opening yourself up to, your body, your vessels becoming more open. And guess what? Now you're feeling things. And guess what your feelings do? Your feelings spark creativity. they allow all of your inner gifts to pour through you in such beautiful ways. But you have to be in certain environments and around certain people that can hold the space for you to do that. Imagine if you were in a home with a bunch of stuff and really negative people and eating unhealthy food or unhealthy food all around you. You're not going to be able to sense and feel good in that environment, and then the creativity won't come out of you. But let's pick you up, let's take you out of that environment, let's put you in an empty apartment where it's bright, it's sunny, you have healthy food available to you, there's no noise. All of a sudden, you have this ability just to create, create, create. So your environment is a direct reflection of whether you're able to be creative or not. And as spiritual beings, guess what we came here to do? We came here to create and to share our gifts. So all of these signs that we just talked about are proof that somebody in your life or you are moving into this 5D energy. And what does that really mean? That means we are now learning to live a different way. We are spiritual beings in these beautiful vessels. We're not putting up with any BS. We're in our sovereignty. Nobody's telling us what to do. We are being our truest, most authentic versions of ourselves. We're only choosing to be with people that see us and cheer us on. We are willing to take leaps of faith to set us up to feel good in certain environments, with the water, with the food, with the movement. And we start to live this life. I call it a freedom life, because you're living this life where you're feeling good all the time. You're not bound by anybody or anything. And God is your CEO. He is paying your bills. He is doing everything for you. He or she or the universe, whatever you like to call it. I don't believe it's a man in the sky, but I do believe that it is our source. So 5D energy is realizing that we're on the dance floor with the universe, and we are surrendering to source and saying, I trust you. My only job is to take care of this, to make sure I feel good, to know my boundaries, and to grow and evolve, and then to light the way for others. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If all of this information was new to you and you learned so much, yay, I'm so excited. Subscribe so you can learn more. I know when I was going through my awakening, I loved YouTube, and I always wanted to have a spiritual teacher who could mentor me and guide me, and YouTube was that for me. So I'm hoping that I can be that for all of you. I told myself back then, 6 years ago, I was like, I'm going to be on YouTube one day, and I'm going to be a spiritual teacher helping people go through these difficult times when they feel so alone. Because in the beginning, you don't have your soul tribe. You are alone. You have nobody to talk to about these signs and synchronicities and what's happening with the anxiety, and all of these people start to fall away in your life for jobs. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you that it's all safe and it's all normal, and you are switching gears into the 5D, and you're going to light the way for others too. So allow me to help you. Please like this video so we can get this out there for more people who might be suffering or excited about this transition. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all to pieces, and I'm in the midst of creating a manifesting course, so be sure to stay tuned for when that comes out. It'll be linked below in this video. All right, lovies, have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.